Welcome back, everybody. It's Jeff again with J&K Stay in Vegas with another episode of Walk with Jeff. This time, we're looking at some beautiful foliage. We are right by the Durango Hotel and Casino here in the southwest part of the valley, about 20 minutes from the Strip. And we're going to have this Walk with Jeff and our kind of combo as we've been doing lately of what's around here. So if you're staying here at Durango, and you want to maybe explore something, some restaurants or anything outside of this area, well, this is the video for you. So, instead of talking, let's get to walking. 30 minutes starts now. Hopefully you can see that. I really like what they did with Durango Casino in the fact that there's so many flowers, cactus. Looks really, really nice. Out here is the patio for the Eat Your Heart Out food hall. Got Herbs Burgers in there and the pizza place. It's just escaping me right now. So much stuff. And you can sit on the patio there. There's one of the doors, obviously, to the casino. Which reminds me is that this is one of the very few casinos and hotels where there are windows everywhere, which is very unusual. If you know casinos and hotels, it's usually pretty dark. They won't want you looking outside to see what fun is going out there. They want you to keep playing. So take a look at the nice surroundings here. And of course, over here, they got AstroTurf. We try to save water here in Vegas. A lot of our grassy areas will have AstroTurf. Desert-friendly landscaping, as they say. And a lot of these plants here and trees, they're very drought-friendly, too. So a lot of these trees hardly need any water, believe it or not. So that's why they get planted around here. So we're gonna take two kind of major areas that are around here, and I'll be pointing out a lot of things. If you've been watching our Movie Mondays, our one Movie Monday was of this area around here. I'll show you, it'll become a little bit more apparent. So instead of on driving, we're going to get this on foot so you can get a little better look at things. Just wait to make sure people actually stop, because sometimes that's a thing. Some nice, I believe this is jasmine. Christina always says it's jasmine. Hopefully it is jasmine. It smells beautiful. It's one thing I like about the casinos and hotels that are not on the Strip, say Red Rock, Green Valley, Durango here. All those type of casinos, to me, they're much more clean, because you don't have the riffraff of, the party goers for the weekend and things. And, restrooms are nice and clean, and surroundings are very nice and manicured and all that. So I really like that. So as we look back here at Durango, the George is over there. That's like an outdoor eating area that has, well, obviously indoor, but they have even movies in there. They even have kids' nights, believe it or not. So they really try to make this a locals spot, even though you need to be 21 to be in the casino area. But that George area is kind of an indoor-outdoor area. We can eat food, and they're having a lot more happy hour specials and just a lot of fun things to do to attract locals. I mean, to be honest, even though it's a very nice casino, I think they're priced quite high, especially if they want the locals here. But that being said, I think they're learning really quick that they need to do something a little bit more than just being like strip prices. So that's good to hear and see. It's a nice sign of the Durango sign. So when we did that Moving Mondays, we came down this street here, which, no surprise, is Durango. This area, especially during the week, gets extremely busy with traffic. It's an early Saturday morning right now, so it's not too bad. It's a nice wide look here at the property. Summer house over there. Of course, they got the STN Sports. That's a whole Station Casino thing. Their Point Play. And there's the advertisement for the George, open 24/7. In this day and age, that's quite rare, especially for a local casino. As you may know, there aren't a lot of even stores, restaurants that are open 24 hours anymore. So that's good to see. Look at these pretty flowers here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to cross the street here. We're going to go check out the Uncommons, which is right across the street. And you can see what's in there. I'll tell you a little bit more about that when the light changes. All right, here we go. And unfortunately, these lights in here, around here, are not very intelligent. They hold up traffic a lot. They don't make the proper left turn, whatever. But anyway, I digress. Here is the Uncommons Dining, Retail, and Social. I'll head down here. This part of Las Vegas, this is the southwest part of Las Vegas. You're going to see a lot of this, empty fields, but they're not going to be empty for long. In fact, this was an empty dirt field for quite a long time, where the Uncommons is. But empty pieces of land around Vegas are becoming more rare as more building happens to be built. Retail, some mixed use, like this Uncommons here, speaking of mixed use, is a mixed use area. So they have apartments / condos here, and they've got dining and a whole bunch of little places. So for the most part, this is where you main turn in. We got Latin Nights Siempre here. DraftKings is over here. I think that's just their offices. But you can see TVs in their offices all the way from the freeway, the 215. If you remember, during our Movie Mondays, I was telling you about that. Winox LV. So they're keeping the theming here, even though this is not part of Durango, but they have like nice areas to sit over here. A lot of different places. Down here is this Dela Cosmetic Tattoo. And you can just see Durango over there off in the distance. But there are still a lot of tenants moving in here. It is a kind of work in progress. There's actually been businesses that have already closed, unfortunately. Maybe a little bit too ambitious, maybe. But this area I do believe will do very well. It doesn't have a lot of exposure. So I will see some influencers online that will highlight a couple places in here, and that's good. And for all the flack that, kind of influencers get, which is totally understandable, it is really good when people like that have social media pages can get out to the local spots, whatever part of the valley they're on, and highlight some of these places, and that way people can try them. Parking here, believe it or not, is not free, but the first 3 hours are free, kind of like on the Strip, but then it's $6, which in all honesty, that's pretty good. And what they say is that it's a way to pay for security, keep the upkeep, all that stuff. So $6, that's pretty good. Once people kind of found out about that, everybody was kind of a little ticked off, because obviously that's a big pain point among people is parking. Salon is over here. A Lamborghini SUV. So as you can see, there is street parking, but I believe it's only 15 minutes. So if you want to grab and go like a coffee or something, that is over here. And a lot of these places. A couple of places to park. That one we just passed. And then this one down here. So again, they are building out a lot of these spots. And as you can imagine, in the height of summer, this is a really nice area because there's lots of trees and everything. That's where we just came back from this way.
Baby, I'm not sure.
So again, with the mixed use, they have offices. There's Sotheby's over there, Morgan Stanley. Alentico Vinayo. Probably pronounced that and butchered that name very much. But yeah, a lot of trees, a lot of shade. This place is literally called General Admission. I looked them online, and they do have like some live music, like, during happy hour. You can see they've got outdoor seating, quite a bit of shade there too. So this is General Admission. I have not been there. Maybe we'll have to check it out sometime. And there's a coffee place here. I'm going to go across the street anyway so I can get a better look at it in hindsight. It's one thing you'll notice that when we do our walks, especially if it's, say, something like the district at Green Valley, it's hard to show what places are here when you're right underneath them. So I like to go across the street. Blue Bottle Coffee over here. And then the Poke Market is right over there. So again, if you have seen some of these places online, if you're following some local Vegas influencers, creators, whatever you want to call them, and you see where you hear about some of these places, now you'll kind of know where they are. So I'm going to go down here, even though there are really not any more restaurants, but we're going to loop back around. And I'll show you what's kind of in between here. Tell you about a little bit about that mixed use. This space is open daily for your relaxation and restoration. Right there. No smoking. So that is even a no smoking outdoors. And at nighttime, kind of like when we walked our Tivoli Village, it's really pretty. They have a lot of lighting in here. It looks really pretty. This is the Assembly Co-working and Flex office. So you can see they're still probably going to be building something else over here. And that's our 215 freeway. We're telling you about that on Movie Mondays as well. So here's part of the mixed use portion. There's some apartments that are over here. As you can see here, now leasing. They do have that Vestra here, which that is over at Durango, and some other spots around town. They look like really nice apartments. But you know, it is apartment living. If you're familiar with any of living in apartments, I should say. It could be a great experience, or it can be the most beautiful apartment, but you can have the worst neighbors possible. So, yeah. When people are talking to me about real estate, you know, they'll be debating on a whole bunch of those things, and that is something to consider. So that's where we kind of came in. We're going to cut through the middle here so we can see some of the other restaurants and establishments. Vestra at Uncommon's leasing gallery hours. And then that's over there too. See, a lot of them have patios. It's actually really important. These are some of the things that you don't think of if you're living here in Vegas, or you're thinking about moving to Vegas, and you know who to call if you ever want to move here or move to a different spot in Las Vegas, your 5-star realtor. But the one thing that people don't consider is which way your house faces. Now, why is that important? Well, summertime, right? Gets really, really hot. I'll head down here. So if your home or your apartment is facing, which this way will be west as the camera is pointing, you are going to get that hot sun for about 4 hours a day, as it's just blinding you right through, say, your living room or bedroom. Sometimes you really don't have an option. This is, I believe, the food hall. So there is a new owner coming in. That is one of the places that actually is not here anymore. So I read that they're going to be bringing in a new owner and a whole new concept coming in. Amari here. Teaspoon is down there. Again, just highlighting some of these places if you've seen them on social media. And some really nice cars. Let's go across the street here. So anyway, if your house is facing west, you're going to get a ton of sun, and very hot sun, in the late afternoon, evening, and it's very warm. In case I miss anything here, here's a nice look at the offices, dining, as they say, lifestyle that is here. In case I happen to miss one or two, you can pause on the screen. So ideally, you'd want to have a house that faces north and south if you really want to get the best use out of not having that sun in the afternoon. Now, if you like the sun, like a sunrise, face east. Now here's a nice open area. The Earth Cafe, you might recognize this if you've been to the Wynn. They have one over here too. And welcome to the Quad. No smoking. How nice is that? Todo Bien. I'm not sure if that's still open. Dry bar here. See one of these in Cosmo. And then there's a really nice seating area here at Earth. It's all covered, and they have misters out here as well. But look at this area. It's really, really nice. Some light music you'd never guess here in Vegas. Let's continue on. All these little outdoor patios. So that's where we were before, that AV place. We'll come down over here. Got a little bossa nova playing in the background. Nice as that. Sneaker boutique coming soon across the way. There's the other side of Earth Cafe right here. Again, one of these ones that you can find in the Wynn / Encore area over there. And that's where we just came from. A little doggy walking. So yeah, this is that food hall. This is the other side. Again, they're going to be bringing in a new partner, and it's going to be coming in here. And we'll see what happens with that. So it may look like graffiti to you, but it is not. Children pictures and things. Again, really highlighting community here. And this is Uncommons.
Is that a nice?
And here's the parking. I'll just show you real quick what it says here. This says 0 to 2 hours free. Each additional hour is $3. That's not what I read online just even a couple of days ago. $15 day max. So if I find out some updated information, I don't know if that's a weekend thing since I'm walking here on a Saturday. But that's a little discouraging. And I think that's one of the main issues that is facing this particular mixed-use space. Rare Society Steakhouse. I'm not sure if this is open either. Let's go around the corner here. Because, you know, parking, you go across the street to Durango. Yeah, it looks like they're still building this. Coming spring 2025. Nice steakhouse here. But I mean, each additional hour isn't that bad of that $3, but still, it's still a cost for parking in basically a residential area. And again, I think that's one of the reasons why this is not caught on as well. This has been open for probably 3-4 years now. Nice look down there. And it is a very nice area, but you can easily just park across the way at Durango. And then if somebody's doing that, well, what's for them to stop from just staying in Durango and not making the trek across the street, especially when it's in the middle of summer. Now again, like I was saying earlier, we came down that way. Well, just like strip malls, but there are some really cute, nice restaurants up along the way. If you remember from that video, we came down this way. That Warm Springs intersection is really busy, I was highlighting. That is just up there, 1 block. So there's a ton of restaurants, shops, and everything else. This area, I should say this restaurant, Pier 215 or 215. I've heard some good things about it. There's also some Korean restaurants over there that are supposedly pretty good. But yeah, it's kind of discouraging when they charge people for parking. So maybe they'll change their mind on that. I doubt it. But who knows? I thought I would have enough time today to show you what's across the way, because there's a brand new outdoor mall that looks really good. Speaking of creators on social media that have been highlighting things, there's a new place, a new area, I should say, called The Bend. And you can see that IKEA, which we passed in the movie Mondays. There's also a huge Ashley furniture store that just opened right across the way from there. Just see in the distance over there, you see a little of that red rock. And yep, that is the edge of Red Rock Canyon. So there is, again, this area called The Bend. They're still building it out. They're still building much more restaurants, retail. And there's another little area in front of it that's not quite connected to The Bend. And I thought I would have a little bit more time to show you, but that'll have to wait till another video. Plus you have a lot of traffic here going across the bridge of the 215. And as you can see, it's a very, very busy area. All right, got the light now. Let's keep on moving. Now again, you could just park over here at Durango and just walk across the street to the Uncommons across the way. But I don't know if you really want to, you know, if people are going to do that. But you could park over here for free. But there are a lot of restaurants, of course, coffee, all that. We were here when it first opened here at Durango. So if you haven't seen the extensive tour of when it opened, make sure to check that out on our channel. Just search. Speaking of which, we've got a ton of content. We've got, if you're new to our channel, first of all, welcome. We have a ton of series and even more things coming on our channel for this year. We have what are called Walk with Jeffs, which we're doing now. We have Where's My Coffee, Where's My Room, where we highlight about 35 to 40 some properties on the strip and outside the strip, which basically are hotel tours. And the thought came from when, you know, if you're up late at night in Vegas and you're like, oh, I just need some coffee. Where's the closest coffee to my room? Well, that's kind of how I came up with that series. So I show you where the closest coffee places are to your room, at the same time giving you a full hotel tour. So that's on our channel. We've got staycations on our channel. We have live streams every Saturday night. And like I said, another new series coming up. When restaurants open, we got reviews of that. So a lot of things to explore on our channel. Let me cross the way here. As I was saying, we were here for the opening of Durango, and this is just the first phase of Durango. I believe they have 2 and 3, but at least 2 different phases, and that's what they're starting on over here. A lot of people were saying like, hey, it would be great if they had a, say, movie theater. It'd be great if they had like a bowling alley like Red Rock has and a lot of the other spots have. So, all new high limit slot room with 120 new machines. Excuse the racket. If that's all they really say, they don't say anything about movie theaters or anything like that, so they probably want to keep that on the down low. And just like that, guys, our walk is done. So like I said, we'll have to check out the bend, which is across the freeway, over that way on another Walk with Jeff episode. But for now, this is going to do it for now. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoy our content, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It's the best way to support J&K Stay in Vegas, your Las Vegas locals for over 12 years. We don't come here and leave. We actually live here, so we give you that on-the-ground perspective from a local's point of view that only we can. If you want to be alerted to all these videos, make sure you turn on those bell notifications. That'll alert you to all of our videos and or our live streams, like I said, which we do every Saturday night. All right, everybody, until the next one, stay safe and stay silly. Bye-bye, everybody.